America's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, the fight against HIV and AIDS continues, especially in the Black community in Nebraska, where experts say case numbers are higher. Plus, protesters are trying to stop construction on a Lincoln housing development, and police had to be called to the scene. But first, our top story tonight. The city is laying out the plan of one of its top priorities, a second water source for Lincoln. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Rod has the night off. Today, the city announced its plans to use the Missouri River as a second water source. Lincoln's Water Advisory Council says the Missouri River solution was the safest and most reliable way to get more water. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleiter has more details in our top story tonight.
Lincoln's Water 2.0 project will develop a Missouri River well field and underground pipeline to provide water to Lincoln, securing water for future generations and helping to maintain the current supply. Mayor Lyrian Gaylor Baird said she's been working for the past 9 months with the Water Advisory Council, which is made up of water experts and business leaders in Lincoln, on an analysis to determine the best new source.
Like the Advisory Council, I believe the Missouri River wellfield alternative is the best option to secure our second water source and the best investment to secure Lincoln's future. I'm confident this route will lead the way to continued water independence and economic prosperity.
Right now, Lincoln gets its water from wells in the Platte River near Ashland, and water usage is actually down about 30% since the 1980s due to water conservation and environmental awareness. However, officials say the need will increase over the next several decades as the population continues to grow and the environment changes. They say the project will also help Lincoln to manage emergencies such as the 2019 flooding, which damaged the Platte River's wells.
That extreme bomb cyclone event is an example of how the accelerated rate of climate change is having a real impact on the ground here in Nebraska. We need to strengthen and harden our infrastructure and make sure that we are resilient in the face of the impacts of climate change, and this is absolutely about that too.
Construction of the project is expected to be completed over the next 25 years until 2048, and the mayor said this is one of the biggest projects Lincoln has undertaken. The price of the project is estimated to reach about $1.3 billion, and officials say funding will use state and federal funds as well as the water rates in Lincoln.
They went into what is the current market, what are the current supply chain issues, what are current projects similar to this across the nation costing, and so all of that was taken into consideration. The good thing is we do have some time, that's why we're starting now, so we can plan. So we'll also continue to save annually and put aside funds to complete this project.
So far, State Senators Elliot Bostar and Anna Wishart have secured $20 million in American Rescue Plan funding from last year's legislative session. Reporting in Lincoln, Matthew Mittleiter, Channel 8 News.
And Senator Bostar has also introduced LB 506 in the current legislative session. It would appropriate another $200 million in federal coronavirus state fiscal recovery funds for this project. In other news, this morning things were tense at Wilderness Park in West Lincoln. A local Native American group was protesting at the site of a housing development. Channel 8's Veronica Barreto has the latest details for us. Veronica?
Last May, Lincoln's mayor approved the controversial housing development plan. Since then, the issue has reached the courts multiple times. This morning, protesters with the Niskita Prayer Camp stood in front of machinery trying to stop workers from tearing down trees.
Police are now actively moving up there. Oh my gosh.
Lincoln police officers were called to the scene. They negotiated with the two sides and the work was stopped for the day. Native American activists say they had expected a public hearing to be scheduled with the City Board of Zoning. This after a city lawsuit was dismissed, but they say the city rejected the hearing.
We came out here this morning to set up our teepee, and wasn't long. In fact, just as the teepee was going up, they started moving earth up there on top of Snell Hill.
Members of the Native American community in Lincoln have been protesting the development as they say it would disrupt sacred ceremonies in the area. And a man was arrested today during the protest, but was cited and released. We'll have more on that at 6 o'clock.
Sounds good, Veronica. Thank you very much for that story. And a heads up for drivers starting today, the intersection of 84th Street and Saltillo Road will be closed for construction. It's part of the Lincoln South Beltway project. The intersection is expected to remain closed until sometime this fall. Work on the 70th Street roundabout will also be ongoing. Detours are available for drivers. Tomorrow is National Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, and local organizations are gearing up to increase testing. There's been, of course, a lot of progress since HIV and AIDS first became a public health crisis, but the fight continues to increase awareness and testing. Channel 8's Jatine Tinsley joins us in studio with more. Jatine?
That's right, Megan. And Douglas County Health Department's theme for National HIV and AIDS Awareness Day is Making Black HIV History. With numbers steadily increasing in the Black community in Nebraska, they decided to set up free testing inside the clinic and at local libraries. The last U.S. Census estimates that the population of African Americans in Nebraska accounts for more new HIV diagnoses than ever before. While Blacks only make up a little over 5% of Nebraska's population, 25% of the nearly 400 cases of HIV between 2016 and 2019 were from Blacks. The Douglas County Health Department says systematic oppression has a lot to do with the reasons why.
Lack of education, some of it may be stigma, maybe a lack of access to testing and treatment. And so those are the things we're going to be focusing on, not just today, but during the year. We want people to know testing and treatment is available, and you don't have to come to the clinic here even to get tested. We can help you out by sending you an at-home test kit where you don't even have to show up here until perhaps you are diagnosed, and then we'll help guide you on the treatment course.
Rooney says that there are still myths that persist about HIV and AIDS that are important to educate people so they can be informed and ultimately get tested. As of December 31st, 2020, there were 714 Blacks in Nebraska currently living with HIV. The Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department offers free HIV testing year-round.
And Jatine, I know you'll have more on this story at 6 o'clock, so looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Let's head on over and chat with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty, what a beautiful Monday you have dialed up for us.
It's a shame it's Monday. So the weekend was just fine too. It was really a nice weekend, and now we're carrying that over into the work week. And today was pretty nice. A little gray at times for some of us, but there is some sunshine out there. You just got to find it. Satellite radar showing quite a bit in the way of cloud cover, even some flurries into parts of the Panhandle in western Nebraska, maybe even just a light rain shower just north of Grand Island, southeast of O'Neill. But outside right now, this is what it looks like at Penner Bathing Solutions in Aurora. A little bit of a breeze, a mixture of clouds and sun. Pretty nice afternoon out there. 41 in Aurora, 41 in York, 44 in Seward and Milford, 43 in Grand Island, 47 degrees in Lincoln, 49 in Nebraska City, and we did have some 60s out there in Falls City at the bottom of the hour. But right now the wind is a little gusty. It's out of the north and west at around 10, 20, maybe 25 miles per hour. As we head through tonight, those temperatures will slowly drop into the lower 30s, eventually getting into the upper 20s. And then tomorrow, another mild day. I think we'll top out once again right around 50 degrees, which is a good 10 or 15 degrees above average. So the warmer weather continues for at least the next couple of days. Some cooler air will try to move in as we head towards the end of the week. We'll take a look at that forecast in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Rusty. Thank you very much. For now, we turn to some crime news. Lincoln police are investigating several vehicle thefts from overnight. Officers responded to at least 2 scenes between 6 and 7 a.m. This was near South Folsom Street and West Denton Road, just west of Highway 77. Officers told our reporter they located one of the pickups involved, and they're still trying to piece everything together, so they couldn't share any more details at this time. They expect more details to be released tomorrow morning. Officials say a prison staff member at the Reception and Treatment Center in Lincoln was attacked by an inmate. The Department of Correctional Services says it happened Saturday afternoon when the staffer was taking the inmate from a holding cell to the bathroom. The inmate allegedly refused to return to the cell and punched the staff member in the face. They were treated at the hospital for a broken nose. UNL's police department has upgraded its emergency dispatch center, something the new director says was really needed. The emergency dispatch center now seats 5 people, housing several screens, lower seating for wheelchair accessibility, and refurbished stations. The director says getting the new equipment had its challenges with supply chain issues, but the university prioritized the call center's needs and made the process efficient.
Being budget conscious, we knew that we needed to maximize what we had access to, and so we've been able to expand our dispatching stations by 1 station, which is helpful for special events and things like that. So you are fully, you have full access to all of the equipment that you would need and all of the different tools.
She says the upgrades make things easier and more efficient for the folks who are answering the calls, and it also creates a domino effect, improving the entire team and their service of the UNL campus. In national news, White House officials are now saying U.S. intelligence forces collected their own data on the Chinese balloon while it traveled across the country. Navy divers continue recovering pieces of that balloon after being shot down by an F-22 jet armed with a missile.
Rank 1, splash 1. That is a K kill.
Officials say the balloon entered U.S. airspace over the Aleutian Islands in Alaska before being shot down off the coast of the Carolinas, scattering debris across 7 miles of shallow water. Officials in China say it was an unmanned civilian airship and that the U.S. overreacted. Meanwhile, Republicans and Democrats argue over President Biden's response.
I can assure you that if we fly a balloon over China, they're going to shoot it down, and probably a lot sooner than we did.
Senior administration officials have discovered that China used surveillance balloons over the U.S. at least 3 times during the Trump administration, but the former president denies those claims. Meanwhile, Nebraska's representation in Washington is criticizing the president's response to the balloon. Congressman Mike Flood says China continues to expand its surveillance operations beyond its borders. He says, quote, the Biden administration is projecting weakness by dragging its feet to stop their plans. America is at a crossroads and it's time to draw a line in the sand, end quote. Senator Deb Fischer also questioned the delayed response from the president, asking for a full report to be released on the issue. Still to come on the news tonight, rescue efforts in Turkey and Syria are underway after a 7.8 magnitude earthquake shook the Middle East last night. We'll have the latest on that after the break. A 7.8 magnitude earthquake shook the Middle East into chaos overnight and killing thousands. Rescue efforts in Turkey and Syria are being delayed by winter weather and aftershocks, which could make finding survivors even more difficult. The initial earthquake struck just after 4 a.m. local time in southeastern Turkey, about 40 miles from the Syrian border. And since then, several powerful aftershocks resulted in even more devastation. One aftershock, about 60 miles to the north, registering at a 7.5 magnitude, and it was 9 hours after the first quake. At least 2,300 are dead in Turkey and another 1,100 in Syria.
We need help. Many buildings, I think between 20 and 30 buildings collapsed in Aleppo and maybe also in other places. Buildings in those places are already very vulnerable, and it might not be a surprise to see other buildings coming down.
Homes and businesses across the region have been reduced to rubble in the worst earthquake to hit Turkey in nearly a century. President Biden says he's sending 2 79-person urban search and rescue teams. 45 other nations are also sending relief.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
After a very mild weekend and mild today, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, is this it? Are we going to stay warm? And the answer is yes and no. We are going to cool off the second half of the week, but let's look a little bit further ahead, the 6 to 10 day outlook. So that includes the weekend and the first half of next week. Warmer than average, some cooler air just off to the west, but most of Nebraska here is looking at temperatures that should be a really good chance of being above normal. In fact, the further east you go, the better chance you have at seeing above normal temperatures. So yes, we are going to stay warm. The good news is there's a decent chance for precipitation during that period too, the weekend into the first half of next week. It's not going to be every single day, but the chances are there for precipitation, and a good swath of really good chance from about St. Louis just to north of Dallas there and most of Oklahoma, but Lincoln and much of Nebraska on the fringe of that. So we'll take whatever moisture we can get, that's for sure. Beatrice, big ball of fire up in the sky right now. Tons of sunshine out there. That wasn't the case for many spots today, and I think that hindered our temperatures from rising up too far too fast. 47 in Lincoln. Had we seen more sunshine, we'd probably still be in the 50s right now. If it's still 58 in Falls City, they were in the 60s. 66, I believe, is what they topped out on. Then the further west you go, the cooler it got, obviously. Still a good pack of snow on the ground for much of central and western Nebraska, so that is obviously going to hinder temperatures. The sun may be out there, but it hits the snow and just bounces right off. So you got to get the temperatures warm enough to melt that snowfall. And that's the case, but barely. It's only 5 or 6 or 7 degrees above the freezing mark in many spots, so that's a very slow melt, which is not a bad thing either. The slower it melts off, the better chance it has to going right into the soil. So hopefully that's the case. The wind, a little pesky today. It's out of the west and northwest at 10, 20, sustained at 23 miles per hour in Broken Bow right now, gusting to around 30 miles per hour in spots, which is not abnormal around here. A couple of sprinkles just north of Grand Island, a couple of snow showers in parts of the Panhandle and Cherry County, but sunshine for a good part of southeastern Nebraska now. Stormcast has the clouds building back in tonight and then going away. Then that's it for a while. Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, nothing really going on. Maybe just a few clouds Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Very quiet. But as we get into Wednesday night, we start to see a chance for some precipitation. Now this is mainly going to be to our south and east, but some of these raindrops may try to creep into southeastern Nebraska from Omaha, Lincoln, Beatrice, and areas east, and then everything kicks on off to the east and moves that way, and we're left with partly cloudy skies. So fast forwarding Thursday, here comes our next chance. This is Thursday afternoon. Very light snow tries to roll through into the evening hours on Thursday before that moves on out. Just about every model I've looked at so far says that's going to be less than an inch of snow just about everywhere. But something we'll keep an eye on just in case. Tonight, temperatures in the middle and upper 20s, very mild, about 10 degrees above average. That northwest wind will likely stick around, 27 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We'll try for 50 again tomorrow. Why not? Let's do a couple of more. Middle and upper 40s and lower 50s for most of us. I think we'll do about 50 degrees in Lincoln, mostly sunny. That's above average by about 12 degrees. That northwest wind still around, but not bad, 10, 20 miles per hour. Then Wednesday, another day of 50, but then that frontal boundary tries to move through. We see that rain-snow mix mainly to our east Wednesday night, then that snow chance on Thursday. Cool off for a couple of days, Thursday and Friday, upper 30s and lower 40s, which is still at or above normal. Then back into the 50s we go, just in time for Valentine's Day. Might have a chance for rain Monday into Tuesday, but overall this is a very mild 10-day forecast.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually in February, we're still bracing for that hard winter cold and maybe some snow, but looking pretty nice, Rusty.
For the next 10 days at least, I'm sure we'll see a cool down eventually.
Oh yeah, I'm sure too. The other shoe must drop. All right, thank you very much. A negative day on Wall Street today. The Dow falling 35 points. NASDAQ is down 119. S&P also losing 25. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source. Finally tonight, today's Powerball jackpot is expected to be the 5th largest ever. And since no one matched all 6 numbers this past Saturday night, today's jackpot is now estimated at $747 million. That would be about $403 million if you chose the lump sum cash payout option. No one has won the Powerball jackpot since November 19th. Now, the jackpot is big, but not close to the all-time record just yet. That was $2.4 billion back last November. We're still waiting to find out who bought that lucky ticket in California. And let's turn to Rusty one more time to get a final check of our weather tonight. After a beautiful weekend, Rusty, today not too shabby at all.
Yeah, a lot of melting going on. Some spots that did have snow on the ground probably doesn't have it anymore in some areas. And outside, finally seeing the sunshine in and around the capital city. Boy, it was kind of a gloomy day there for a while, but now we're seeing those temperatures rebound a little bit because of the added sunshine. Still 47 in Lincoln, 45 Beatrice, a little cooler in Columbus at 39, Norfolk at 38. And the lower 40s in Aurora and York with a mixture of clouds and sun. I think most of us seeing some sunshine out there. It is a little breezy in some areas too. That west wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. There's the cloud cover, a hit and miss, a sprinkle or two in some spots north of Grand Island, maybe a few flurries in the western quarter of the state, but most of us seeing anywhere from partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Here's your Lincoln forecast over the next 3 days. 50, 50, and then 41. A little mixed precipitation possible late Wednesday, mainly to our east. Could mainly just be some light rain, but if it happens late enough, a few snowflakes may mix in. But again, I think most of this will be in eastern Nebraska into Iowa, really. And then on Thursday, another chance for some light snow moving through the state. Less than an inch is what most of the models are saying. But for Tuesday in itself, temperatures starting off in the middle 20s, 40s by noon, 50 degrees by 3 p.m., and back down into the middle 40s we go by 6 o'clock in the evening.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you all for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Less driving, more winning. Warhorse Casino Lincoln is now open at Highway 77 and West Denton Road.